Hello, loves. Welcome back to my channel, and today's video is day 12 of Ethany's 31 Days of Tarot Challenge. All the information about the challenge is linked in the description box below, so go check it out. You can still join in, okay? There's still time. Even though today's the 12th, you can still get on the action of this challenge. Just go for it. Dive right in. Today's prompt is, what got you started reading tarot, and why do you continue to read? So why did I start reading tarot? Okay, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you about this. I got into reading tarot not because I had always wanted to learn how and read tarot. It's not really how my story started. My story started because for years, I had been searching for a pathway that I could grow in, that really felt like home. And the spiritual pathway that I had been on, that my family put me on, that I was sort of predestined to travel down, didn't feel right. It didn't fit for me. And so I was searching and started my spiritual journey at a really young age. And I know that's kind of unusual for most folks. Most kids, when they're 10 years old, aren't worried about big existential questions and asking, who am I inside as a person? Where is my place in the universe? And what is God? What is the divine? What is happening here? But those were the questions that I was asking at 10. And that's actually when I started my own meditation practice. And eventually, over the years, I found Wicca, and I started reading into it as much as I could, because, I mean, you guys, this is like the mid-90s, and the internet was a fairly new thing for everybody. And we didn't have social media, not the way that we have it today. So my resources were extremely limited, but I looked up what I could, and this is the pathway that called me home. And because of that, I started purchasing books. I self-dedicated at 15, although I kind of came out of the broom closet, if you will, to my mother when I was 14, and purchased my first books on Wicca when I was 14. So this is, 1999, early 2000. And in those books, they were like, all right, you guys, these are the subjects you need to study if you want to follow Wicca as a path. And each one of these authors was like, you need to study tarot. And I was like, all right. So it was like, let's look at tarot. And at 15, I purchased my first tarot deck, and that was DJ Conway's Celtic Dragon Tarot, which is always going to have a very special place in my heart. I can't show you the deck because I have since passed it on. It is with a nephew. This is like the best friends of one of my nephews, but watched this kid grow up. So he's kind of a nephew of mine. Kind of adopted him as an extra nephew. I have a ton of nephews, so it's not like I needed another one. But this kid, has been around and has been in my nephew's life for years and years and years. I've known him for a really long time, and he really is an honorary nephew. And so I passed on the Celtic Dragon Tarot to him. And he's tried it out. He's working with it. He just recently became a father, so he's also looking at big picture, place in the world kind of stuff. And I hope that this deck gives him a lot of love and guidance as much as it gave me. And so I don't have anything to show you Sorry. But it is being used right now. It's not in the garbage or anything. It has moved on. It's found a new home. And I'm very happy with the time that I had with that deck. For many years, that was my only tarot deck. That was my baby for like 3 straight years. That's what I read with. I learned off of that guidebook. And that was like it for me. Why I continue to read, and why I even continue to read today. The tarot is such an amazing tool for self-development and self-reflection. Sure, it's primarily used as, a divinatory tool. This is like, okay, what's happening in the future here? What's coming up for me? But when we use it in a way to see what roadblocks we're facing in the present, like, okay, what is actually coming up for me in this situation? What is occurring for me here? How am I seeing the situation? How am I seeing the world at this point in time? How is the world seeing me and my actions? There's just so much that this tool can show us based on the archetypes, the symbolism, the astrological correspondences, the elemental correspondences, the Kabbalic correspondences. There are so many layers to the tarot in the system in general. And I really believe that the cards that come up are the cards that you're meant to see. They're cards that carry a message for you. And just after using it for as long as I have, I'm 32 years old. So I have been working with the tarot for damn near almost 17 years now, you guys. And it's hard to explain. It's really hard to explain coherently because, I'm scatterbrained. I'm a Leo. I'm a fire sign. I'm like, whew, all over the place. But it is a very powerful tool for self-growth and self-reflection and self-development. And I really think that it slides very easily into any spiritual path. I don't even think that you need to be a spiritual person to understand and get messages from the tarot. I think that the archetypes are universal. These are all situations that we've all been in that we can relate to, and seeing ourselves and our motives and our actions reflected back at us in these cards. It's just like, when you need a truth bomb, pull a deck out, shuffle it, and this is going to be like, here you go. Here's what's happening. This is a metaphysical mirror. And the more I use it, the more it just reaffirms how much healing can come from this tool. And there's a reason why it's been around as many years as it has been. And I will continue to use it forever and ever and ever until I'm dead. Because Lord knows I have a shit ton of tarot decks in my house. My kids already have their own oracle decks and affirmation decks. So it's only a matter of time before they're going to start working with and understanding the tarot. So I believe in this tool. I love this tool. It's one of the reasons why I talk about this tool on my channel and why I'm going through this challenge, why I work with this tool on an almost daily basis. It never ceases to amaze me. In 17 years, there's not one moment where I was like, fuck this tool, I'm never going to use this again. Every single time, it's just been varying degrees of being blown away. Where I'm just like, that's interesting. All the way down to, holy shit. I need to take a moment because I was not expecting to get hit that hard. And everything in between. So if you have not worked with the tarot yet, I highly, highly encourage you to. Most of my really profound epiphanies of just like, shit, what am I doing with my life right now, have come from a reading that I've done with the tarot deck. It is that freaking awesome. No exaggeration whatsoever. So that's my tarot story. What about you guys? Do you read the tarot? If you do, what made you pick up a deck? And what was your first deck? Do you still use that deck today? I would really love to know. Leave it in the comments below. And I really hope to see you guys in tomorrow's video. But until then, blessed be.